Jade, I don't know about you, but I've already worked up an appetite in today's show. And thank goodness our favorite personal chef, Christina DiMacaulay from Clean Your Plate, is here to the rescue.
Summer dishes that you don't need a grill for, because truthfully, I don't have one at home, so I am all about this.
And that's okay. I'm an urbanite too. I don't have the backyard, so I have to do some things indoors. Now, you know, on the Clean Your Plate website, I get a lot of questions about jazzing up summer dishes. So today we're going to work with halloumi. Have you had halloumi before?
No, I don't know what that is.
Well, halloumi is actually a cheese from Cyprus. It's kind of like feta, but a little bit milder. And what's cool about it is it can take a lot of heat. So we're going to do warm halloumi with a tomato vinaigrette.
Really?
So easy.
Cheese that takes heat and it doesn't melt all over the place.
Oh, it doesn't melt over. Oh, if you do it the way I'm telling you to, it won't melt all over the place.
Make sure you follow instructions.
She's already ordering me around.
I'm already ordering you around. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm just taking the halloumi cheese, which is this right here, and I've sliced it into a quarter, third of an inch slices, and I have baby eggplant and zucchini sliced in the same thicknesses. I'm dredging it into a little bit of seasoned flour, and what the flour does is it helps promote some browning, lets us get a nice golden crust. That's what we're going for, because the cheese should be golden and crispy on the outside and mellow and gooey on the inside.
Now, you seasoned the flour yourself?
I did.
With a little...
This did not come pre-seasoned. I hit it with a little bit of salt and pepper.
Don't know where you would get seasoned flour.
Where can you buy halloumi cheese?
You can actually buy it. I know they carry it at Whole Foods, and I know they carry it at Downtown Cheese in the Reading Terminal Market.
Now, does it require heat, or can you? I don't know. How is it hard? No, it's got some.
It is firm. That's
firm.
why it works really well on the grill too. So if you were grilling this, for example, you wouldn't need to flour it at all. You just put it on the grill with your steaks and everything else. Terrific.
And
yes!
It's going to hold up, right?
I promise you, it's not going to melt through like that mozzarella that you've been throwing on the grill. It's not going to happen. So meanwhile, while this is going on, we're going to make a tomato vinaigrette.
Okay.
We're going to step over here. We're actually using sun-dried tomatoes. And what's great about them, 20 pounds of fresh tomatoes are necessary to make 1 pound of sun-dried tomatoes. So this is a really bold flavor.
This is out of the jar?
No, I actually use dried and I rehydrate it like we did on the chef's tip. So we're doing sun-dried tomatoes, a quarter teaspoon of salt, a little pinch of sugar just for a little bit of balance. I have fresh garlic, because we always have to have some garlic, right? We're going to do 1.5 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, and we're going to do fresh mint. I mean, give that a smell. It's so good.
There's nothing better.
You know, and so this is a quarter cup of fresh minced mint. Now, if you didn't have mint, you can use all that basil that's overgrowing, you know, in your yard right now, in the sidewalk. So we'll toss that in.
Did you see the study that came out yesterday that people that have vinegar in their diets tend to gain less weight than those that don't?
I didn't know about that.
Actually, they studied rats, but I don't think they were feeding them the same thing.
I don't think they were having halloumi with tomato vinaigrette.
Probably not.
We'll do this for the humans. So I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil.
I don't feed my rats that well, actually.
Okay. Well, that's good. Well, maybe they'll like the
Hopefully
cheese.
you feed yourself better than the rats.
Yes.
So we put in the olive oil. Meanwhile, the halloumi's been browning. That's how quick it is. We'll give this a turn.
Oh, my goodness. Look at that.
Look at that. Think of like your favorite cheese pizza, how melty and yummy it is on the top.
Would that be good on pizza?
Well, you know, it probably would be pretty good on pizza, actually. You don't necessarily have to sear the halloumi. You can eat it as it is, you know, without any heat at all. But yeah, crumbled just like feta, that would be okay.
What are you doing in the kitchen? I'm searing the halloumi.
So we would let this brown up a little bit more, okay, on the other side, so we get that nice crust that I've been teasing you about. And then we take the cheese and we would plate it with some other pieces here. We have done like that, okay. And then we're going to take our little super vinaigrette in here, and I would just pour this, you know, spoon it right on top, like this, okay? And that is a great summer dish to put on your picnic table. Really, really terrific stuff.
Now, you made a few other things I noticed, too. You want to give us the tour?
I did. Well, one of the things I did, I used the same ingredients and I put it on skewers. I did this for a cocktail party last week, and they loved it. They didn't know what they were eating, but they loved it, okay?
It has a great fun look to it.
That's a really great thing.
Eats it up.
But you can also, like I said, you can crumble it up, serve it as a side dish. It loves bold flavor, so you can have it with lamb, beef, buffalo, whatever you want. It can handle it. And even better, I did a strawberry salad. So you have sweet strawberry, you actually have smoky bacon, you have a little tart balsamic vinegar, and that melty, grilled, gooey, yummy halloumi. Terrific stuff.
Very nice. Now you originated Clean Your Plate as a service where you go into people's homes, cook for them, and then put it in their fridge so they got fresh food for a week. But then you started doing some group cooking lessons, and that has now evolved too.
It definitely has evolved. A lot of people I found actually want to learn how to cook. You know, I have classes in the spring and in the fall, group classes, but some people are a little intimidated going there. So people have asked me to come into their homes and have one-on-one lessons in their own kitchen. So we have a lot of fun, a super amount of fun. Whatever skill level you are, some people can't boil water, but some people are fantastic cooks. I'm going to elevate you to the next level. We're going to eat and cook a lot of good food. And we're going to have fun.
And this actually led to a little romance, I hear, right?
Oh, it did. Not for me. Not for me. But it did lead to a little romance. Actually, last month, I had a couple that had me come over. I taught them how to make their favorite meal. I was there for 2 or 3 hours. I left. I emailed them the next day to find out they got engaged after I left.
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
What an effect you have on people.
So I guess the lesson must have been really good, and hopefully they're going to call me to do their wedding. You know, hopefully that comes around. But I can't guarantee that always happens.
I think it's the recipe, which you will find on our website at NBCPhiladelphia.com. Just search the 10 Show. You'll see the recipe for this great halloumi printed out, and you can also watch the video of Christina DiMichele putting it together. Christina, always a pleasure.
So great to see you guys.
Thanks
so
for
much.
being in. I can't wait to try this.
We'll be right back with more of the 10 Show. In fact, I don't think I will wait to try it. Chef Christina DiMichele from Clean Your Plate. Okay, if you're here, we know we're in for some good eating.
Yes.
But you brought a great dish for Easter.
Something super easy. You can do it on the weeknight, or you can do it for Easter brunch. We put together something with eggs. Why not? So we're doing a spaghetti Italian frittata.
It looks beautiful sitting there. That's the finished product we're looking at?
That's the finished product.
But you don't think of frittatas as having spaghetti in them.
Well, actually, in southern Italy, they tend to put pasta in the frittata.
Oh, that's
And it's great because it adds a lot of structure and adds some carbohydrate to the dish and makes it more complete.
It's not just because they got a bunch of pasta left over from the night before?
Well, that's why we do it. That's what we're going to do today.
It's very utilitarian.
Exactly. So we're going to start off with a skillet with a touch of oil, and I'm putting in 2 whole shallots sliced super thin.
A lot of people still haven't cooked with shallots.
Well, shallots are wonderful because they have a nice mellow flavor,
Yeah.
kind of like garlic and onion
milder.
together. So I really, really love that. And when these start to
Dee
get...
hasn't cooked with them either. She's eaten them a
But
lot.
She's heard about
talk
it.
about them, yeah.
They smell so good.
So what we add to this, once these start to get a little bit brown, we're going to add in some asparagus. I've got 1 cup of sliced asparagus. Now let's say last night you had broccoli, you had carrots. You could substitute that for the asparagus and use that. You can really use any vegetable you want. Just keep the same proportions as what we have in the recipe. Okay?
Okay.
So while this is going on, we're going to do some eggs.
And already we can smell the shallots.
Shallots. So we have the eggs. This is 6 eggs and 2 egg whites to keep it light and fluffy. We're going to add to this some Parmesan cheese.
6 eggs plus 2 additional egg whites.
Right, plus 2 additional egg whites to the dish. We've got some Parmesan cheese, and then in here we actually have some whipped cottage cheese.
Oh, wow.
Now what this is it has all of the nutritional qualities of cottage cheese without the gritty, chalky texture of the curd.
All right, well,
if you can't find that, you can do part skim or cottage cheese.
Okay, so they sell it whipped.
They do.
You don't take cottage cheese and whip it.
It
with
will
the
literally say whipped cottage cheese,
Oh, wow.
1% milk fat. Okay? So we have our egg mixture and our cheese mixture. We put that together. Now it doesn't take very long for the asparagus and the shallots to be ready. At this point,
Even though the asparagus is a little on the dense side?
Exactly, because we're going to cook it off even further when we combine the eggs.
Oh, yeah.
So we just need to get a little bit of color on, and I will place all of this into a large bowl like so. We'll clean out the pan just like that, and then we'll add in some other leftovers, right?
Okay.
So we have some spaghetti from last
Here
night's
comes the
dinner.
spaghetti.
Here comes the spaghetti. You can use other pastas if you made macaroni or bow ties, whatever you want. Here's some halved cherry tomatoes from yesterday's salad. Okay, and you know, some parsley. If you got cilantro, basil, you can do that too.
Now, if you're cooking spaghetti specifically for this recipe, should you leave it a little undone, take it out of the boiling water ahead of time?
I'll probably leave it a little bit al dente,
Okay.
I would say. But it really, really holds together very well in the batter of the eggs. So when we add in the eggs and cheese. This is really our frittata batter, and that's
You can tell that the cottage cheese really adds a consistency to it
Right.
that makes it a little bit thicker, right?
It really, really does. It definitely adds something to it. And again, like I said, you could do ricotta if you wanted to find ricotta cheese. That's a perfect substitution.
So it's
now,
not more for the taste, it's more for the texture and
it's
holding
more for
it
the
together.
texture, but the taste is definitely there. And with the right seasonings, it is really good.
And with the Parmesan in there, you really don't have to use a lot of that to get that great Parmesan
Now,
flavor.
Parmesan has a really strong flavor. It has a little bit of salt to it. So you don't need to do much because you want the vegetables to really shine through.
Okay, so now what's the secret from taking it to this stage to getting it just right?
Just right. This is the trick, okay? We put in a tablespoon of olive oil in the empty pan that's still nice and medium-low heat, okay? And we add in the batter, like so, just like that.
You're going to have to cover this?
No, we're actually going to finish it off in the oven. So we'll cook it first on the stovetop. Sometimes you move around the spaghetti a little bit, just so everybody gets a fair piece. But at this point, you leave it alone. That's the trick. Leave it alone for 10 minutes. Now, I know you want to push it around just like scrambled eggs.
You feel like you need to do something.
You feel like you need to do something, but it's on very low heat. So we leave it for 10 minutes so that brown crust will form on the bottom. After that, because this is an oven-safe pan, we put it in the oven, 350 degrees, 12 to 15 minutes. And when it comes out, it's going to look something just like this one.
Spectacular.
Here we go.
Great.
Okay.
And you have a new favorite that's perfect for Easter celebration or really any time.
It really is fantastic, and this will serve 4 to 6 people. If it's 4 servings, you know, we're talking about more protein in a serving than chicken breast, less than 400 calories, only 4 grams of saturated fat, and you can do this, like I said, for brunch, or you can serve it for lunch with a little bit of an arugula salad. Wonderful
And
stuff.
As well with any meal.
And you can do it yourself.
Yes.
Just head to our website for the full recipe, NBCPhiladelphia.com, search the 10 show, and then click on recipes. Christina D. McCauley, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.